Spears and Steinberg.
You know what the it is?
Aries and Andy, Jew and the Jerk.
You know it's time to get this work.
The real raw, gutter, uncut, cold. No political corrections.
Always sleep.
Being awoke. We discuss politics and jokes.
Scribe, we lit.
There's levels to this shit. Before you was on your mama.
Aries Spears don't give a fuck.
We talk about race a lot, racism,
Sexism,
much love to my loyal bag holders,
rollers, loaders.
we got them in the folders.
The whole world on our shoulders.
Spears and Steinberg.
Yeah.
And let the story be told. Okay, this Steve comes to us from Andre Potts, and he puts in parentheses, I tried. So I think he may have given up on himself before he gave himself a chance. The year of 2003, there was an exotic pet expo with numerous celebrities attending to bid on an amazing pet. Auctioneer comes to the podium. Coming up next to the block is a purple panther. We will start the bidding at $25,000. Sold for $32,000. Sylvester Stallone leans over to Arnold Schwarzenegger and says, "Hey yo," my voice is kind of right now. "Hey yo, there's an exotic gator coming up. Don't know if I want to bid." Arnold says, "Yeah, what's the catch? What is it I need to know before I spend much and stupid money on something less sexy?" Stallone says, "Hey, there's some doing coke over its back." Arnold, "Oh, I'm going to that coke and all the gator's ass into piece." I'm this up like I did the old lady at the end of days. You know, I farted on that bitch. It smelled like Popeye's eye socket after going down of olive oil while dripping spinach. Stallone, shocked and confused, said, "No, I heard he's in the R. Kelly of the aquarium universe." Arnold says, coked up and already broken in. My nipples are getting more exercise than the walking on styles. Who's this gator piper? The auctioneer steps up. Next up, candy-colored gator looks over, getting railed by a gentleman in a Superman cape, a turtleneck, and a machete. Stallone and Schwarzenegger stand up and yell, "Oh, Steve, no! Hold it down, I'm coming!" On its back. I don't know if there was... I don't know if the last part of that, the saving grace, was the Schwarzenegger part. My voice is a little fried, so that's why the Stallone is off. But nonetheless, there you go.
It was very long.
It was long. I don't know who's at fault, him or me, because my voice is up, or because he even said before he did it, I tried.
No, it wasn't. There was something there. Mm-hmm. I just think he needs to edit himself down a little bit.
Right. Okay.
So there's something there.
All right, let's take the onus off of me and start getting into these. Richard J., episode 568, Andy's Rage Out. Hey guys, Andy, I was rolling around laughing when you were raging after someone said Michael Rapaport, but I feel, Aries, you missed a golden opportunity to shout back at the person who submitted the email. Don't try to challenge Andy. Also, is there any chance you could add a date for Wales in your European tour? We got England, Scotland, but left out Wales. I'll put Andy up in my backyard.
In the backyard?
I'll pitch up an old tent and give him his own bar of soap, so there is some of the expenses covered. Richard J.
See, there's a possibility right there.
That you could do it?
Yeah. I got a tent.
Yeah, I've never been to Wales. I wonder what Wales is like.
That's the whole thing about going to Europe. I want to be able to go. I hope there's enough days in between to go to some other cities.
Yeah, but how far are they, and how would you get to them?
You know, you just figure out which. I don't think that you decide which cities you want to go to. You see which cities fit into the landscape.
Well, here's my ignorance. I'm just automatically assuming that when you go to Europe, because, you know, to get from America to Europe, you got to go over water. I'm just for some reason thinking when you get to Europe, anywhere you want to go, you got to go over water. But once you get there, it's like here, cabs and trains and
a lot of trains,
a lot of local, right?
Yeah, but a lot of quick airlines too. They have a lot of airlines that do some quick jumps. So, yeah, it's possible. You just got to lay it out and you look at it on the map and you go, okay, if this one fits, we can go here. This will only be out of our way for like 5 hours.
Right.
get there, and then the next day you go to your other place. That would be fun if we can make it work like that.
Yeah. From Bruzy. Incidentally,
I didn't think I raged about Rapaport. I just thought it was funny that all the venom towards poor Rapaport. I mean,
Right.
he's only doing what he's doing.
we didn't need this.
No.
Incidentally, we're shooting this out of order. We would normally do the Wednesday episode first and do the email after that, but we're doing the email first and then the other one in Boston because we wanted to do it in Boston because it's special. It's Boston.
We're right now we're in
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
yeah, and it's not football season, so we're in a small town in Wisconsin.
Downtown, and this shit is a wasteland. It's a desert land.
There's
nothing here.
There's no sports going on right now, so it's cool.
Incidentally, when I was on stage, dude, I had to take a shit. And at one point during the show, I ripped one. And I could smell it on stage, but I didn't think anybody in the crowd would smell it because they were low
And
a little bit, not too far away. But I know the two ladies, the Asian lady I fuck with and the black lady did, because they exchanged looks. I don't think they knew it came from me. But the black lady took out some sort of spray and sprayed around their vicinity. So I was like, oh, that shit hit to me. But I don't think they knew it came from me.
See, now I want to prove a point. We've been here before. You said no. I farted and it went behind me because of the direction. Right. That went in front of you. So now
But
you
that might have to do because of the elevation of the stage. The wind hit different.
Yeah, it didn't make a difference because it doesn't travel in the way that you push it out. It just travels. It becomes particles, and then it just lands wherever it lands.
Depends on the intensity of the fart.
If
it's really intense, it pushes out the way you want it
Well,
to.
it sounds like the way that you left, you disappeared after you did merch.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you. And while I was doing merch, I was like, yo, I have to shake.
You would look sweaty while you're doing merch.
Oh, my God, I was so uncomfortable. I was baking.
No, you look sweaty. Like you look like I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't know it was that.
Yeah, I had to. I had 8 jokes into my set, and I held it, and it was just sitting there baking.
What do you mean you held it? What was the option? What would you do?
I couldn't go, hey, excuse me, y'all, I'll be right back.
Would you do that? Could you imagine doing
Only
it?
if I knew I was about to have an accident. I would call you back out.
Andy, take this mic for a hot 5.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I knew it wasn't that. It wasn't a cold red, but it was there, dude.
Dude, when you were doing merch, I think it became. I think the light's starting to go off.
Yeah. Bruzy.
That's so fucking funny.
Bears, guys, girls, and ride shares. Hey, fellas, hope this email finds you both well. I just wanted to get your opinions on the latest gender war flash fire about women choosing to be stuck in the woods with a bear rather than a man because the bear is less likely to do them harm. Trust. I get the argument and why women would feel safer with the bear, but I'd like to hear Tony Soprano, Patrick from Boston. Is it Patrick? No, it's Bobby.
Bobby from Boston.
I'm not going to give you Patrick just because you totally f***ed that up. Joe Pesci, Goodfellas Casino, discussed this matter while being stuck in traffic because they're forced to share a ride share together on the way to the airport. On a side note, is Pesci playing the same character in those movies? Anyhow, here's a May drop. Remember the movie The Good Son?
Yeah.
The Good Buns, starring Dong Footlong. I'm trying to remember who the son. If it was the Good Son that I think it was Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood.
I thought so.
Yeah. So who the f- is Don Footlong, and
Let's see.
maybe it's a different Good Son. Oh, my voice.
He getting sick?
Hey, yo, Mick.
The Good Son. Yeah, Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood.
But is it?
Oh, wait, there's a 2012 one.
Oh, that's what he's got to be talking
The Good
about.
Son. And that has no one. What the f*** is it? The Good Son.
But it has to be that one.
Yeah, I guess.
Because Macaulay Culkin and Elijah Wood don't sound anything like Don Footlong and Labia O'Keefe.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's it for now. Keep working them crowds. Until next time. Peace and reparations. Peace in the Middle East. Dude, I'm so sorry. I owe you one, Bruzy. Because my voice is just... I haven't had a cigarette or a drink in 3 days. So I think that's throwing me off.
I think it's funny that when you don't have drinks or cigarettes, you get sicker.
Bro, I would have hang out on a woods. Think of the bear is tougher than me. If you see me in a fight with a bear, you better pray for the bear.
But you know what this thing is that he's talking about, right?
No, not at all.
I guess some women said that if they were trapped in the wood, if they had to be trapped in the woods, what would you rather be trapped with, a man or a bear?
And they said the bear.
Because a man is going to do you harm.
You know...
Yep, go ahead.
There are a couple of women that I follow on Instagram. One is a lady who goes by the name of Lady J, and another one, I forget the sister's name, but she I think her handle is I Said What I Said or something like that, where their whole platform is about women stop on men. Stop acting like you don't need us. Stop acting like we're useless. Stop being starch feminists and realize your place. And it's great because if a man says that, well, then he's just an asshole. But when there are actually women breaking shit down, like with Lady J, what I love is she actually uses of women saying dumb shit, and she cuts back and forth between every time the woman says something, and she has this persona where it's like, really now? She talks in this cadence. And when she comments, she just keeps this cadence and breaks down how stupid you are. Have you ever seen her?
No.
Yeah, but she's awesome. And I'm glad, I love it because they say what men say and feel. But again, if it comes from us, we're these assholes and Neanderthals. But when they say it, it's like, hey, this is a woman. There are women that get it. So she's trying to help other women get it. They're trying to help other women get it.
Well... But I think that's funny that a woman would rather have to deal with the bear than deal with the man. I think it shows what women really think of men.
Yeah. I mean, I understand some of it may be warranted, but seems to me like those women that are extremists with that are painting a broad picture, what's the saying go? Painting a picture with a broad stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this question then. So you're stuck in the woods with a woman, right?
Right.
And you don't know if you're going to get out of the woods, right?
Right.
Do you like say, hey, we're here in the woods. Are you not interested?
You gonna give me some?
That's the question.
Whether you stuck on an island or stuck in the woods, I would like to think that at some point you would want it as bad as I would. The itch is the itch.
So see, that's what the fear is for the woman. The bear's going to eat you and kill you.
Well, I'm going to eat you too.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Which one do you?
You'll still have your limbs.
But I would think that most men, and maybe I'm wrong, most men, if they're in a woman is repulsed by you or doesn't want to be around you or isn't attracted to you, it doesn't even have to be repulsed, just not attracted. You're not. That's not what you want. And
listen,
I think guys would go, okay, well then.
Listen, if if you're as a man, if you're a real human being, a decent human being with any sense about you, no means no. So you're not going to go there ever. But I would also like to think that if you guys are trapped there long enough, certain things, human instincts kick in. Like, and I'm not even talking sexual. Even if you don't like me, who else you going to talk to? We got to talk.
Yeah.
We got to help each other survive. We got to get to know each other. And in a certain amount of time, maybe enough of that, us working together, learning each other, we're stuck together, maybe those walls come down.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I do think. I do think that you're correct in that. I think that the instinct isn't about, I'm going to f this girl. The instinct is we have to survive this.
Right.
And then as you're surviving it, whether there's attraction or not attraction, coexistence and helping one another starts to build a bond, and then that can open up the door for something else. If you're stuck on this place and you can't get out, eventually, I see what you're saying. Over a period of time, you start finding you stop worrying about what you don't like about the person, and you start seeing things that they're doing that is attractive to you, and then that's where that becomes that can be an open door for a conversation about something else. But to assume that a guy is just stuck with you and all he wants is to sexually is just sexually aroused by you, I'm going to be thinking about my life, and I'm going to actually look at you and go, is this person going to help me get out of this situation, or do I need to leave this person here, and for the bear?
Right. Huh,
so I think that I think it's not a reasonable for women to think of it just that way, and it shows how they think about us. That we only think about sexual. We're not after every woman. I don't care what every. Now let me rephrase this, because we're not after every woman, but in the situation that we were alone, bought with a woman, and that's our only option. Yeah, eventually you're going to be, if you're safe and this is the situation. Yeah, you're going to find something sexual about it. That is a man thing.
And listen,
but not at the moment that you're trying to survive.
And at some point, like I said, no matter how long you're together, if help don't come, if there's no out, if it's, let's just say, 2 years, if she still is saying no, it's no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to turn into an animal and throw away my morals because she, because of the situation.
She isn't going to be there after 2 years anyway, because the bear's going to eat her.
Well, if the bear don't eat her, I definitely wouldn't force myself on her. That don't mean that when she sleep, I'm not going to. I'm saying, you don't know the difference between raindrops and drops at night if you sleep.
This rain is very chalky when it dries.
And thick. Okay, thermal heat. On transgender women. Sub A&A. Last Wednesday's episode inspired me to send out this letter. Andy's words were very insightful about trans women, and if being woke was a feeling, I truly felt my eyes were open. It was funny. I'm on the train reading a book when a trans woman comes on the train. Now, I'm the type of guy who exaggerates to tell a story, but I kid you not. She literally looked like she was about to try out to be a linebacker for the New York Giants. There was an old woman who looked at me like, why? What is the point? Then I put the book away to listen to my favorite podcast, and Andy's words, paraphrasing, they feel like women inside and try their best to express outside what is inside, and sometimes it does not fully match. The idea that this woman also sees her potential to win a Super Bowl ring when she looks in the mirror but chooses to do her best to match what she feels inside. Yeah, I have to respect that. I think I respect that a little more now. A few days ago, I talked with someone about children making the transition. Now I'm wondering if the pro side of starting so young, like transitioning while your body is still developing, increases the chances of the outside matching the inside. It's a point I never thought about before. Then again, I never really had to. These are the things I would have never thought about unless someone said them out loud. So I thank you for that, Andy. I would also like to mention that it may have helped that you said this unapologetically because you felt you were on the absolute right side of the conversation, which I think helped with your point. The purpose of any podcast is to say what's on your mind. I forgot who mentioned it in their email, but a disclaimer at the beginning is a good idea, so you can go straight to it and the point hits harder. Again, thank you both for the eye-opener piece. Oh, look at that.
But he brings up something that's the most difficult part of trying to, for me to wrap my head around this.
Right.
And one of the key things he says, but he never had to. I don't have to. So for me to wrap my head around it is different because I'm not seeing it from the perspective of someone who's dealing with it. But when we go to kids, and this is where it gets very difficult. Kids, after they go through puberty, they can't really transition the same way. Bone structure is different, muscle structure is different, and it's never. They really won't like he said, match what their thoughts are. But some people, some kids, when they want to do girl things, that doesn't make them a girl. There's guys that want to do, like, I loved my sister's Easy Bake Oven. Most chefs are men. It doesn't make you a woman. It didn't mean that I needed to be a woman. It just meant that my dad handed me the razors the plastic razors, and he said, "This is yours. The oven's your sister's. We got it for her." There wasn't a conversation about feelings, male, female. That wasn't it. So this is where the complication comes in, and this is where it gets more difficult. And I'm not qualified to talk about this, but yes, I do want. That is part of what's on the table and why it's important. But when we have these people that are overly aggressive, that just because someone has feminine traits does not mean that they're going to grow up and want to be a woman. A man is going to be a woman, or a woman will be a man. And so this is where we have to pull back a little bit. This is not where the school should be making these decisions for parents either. I could see if someone was absolutely, this is what it is, and the parent is fighting it, then maybe there is some child services or something like that could come into play. But for the school to hide this from parents and to start working to help kids transition who haven't made a decision, they're kids. Some might be that, but I mean, you can't get a tattoo before you're 18. How are you getting a major transition before you're of age?
I saw on Instagram where this black dude, and I guess his friend, white guy, were at some sort of feminist LGBTQ transgender type rally, and the white dude is filming her, and she says to the black dude, "Put that camera down. I do not want to be filmed. What are you doing?" And the black guy goes, "That's my friend. He identifies as a camera." I'm almost leading to a moment that Piers Morgan had when he was on his show and said to one lady, "Well, if he can identify as a woman, why can't I identify as a black female lesbian?" And the woman was like, but that's ridiculous. He goes, "Why is it different? If she can be a man, why can't I be a black female lesbian?" So,
we do have women. We have a woman that identified as a black woman for a long time.
That Michelle Dolce bitch?
Dolezay?
Yeah.
Dolezay, yeah.
Yeah, that bit that Chappelle did. Oh, my God.
But so I'm not, yes, if we're going to play the identify, I can be whatever I want to be, but you can't. You just can't. It's not a possibility.
Every time I look on social media and I hear about some child identifying as a robot or as a cat or some weird, it's white parents. I don't see black people going, "My child." I don't even hear of black people doing that. But you know what? Let me play devil's advocate. If I'm wrong, to the people that listen to this podcast, send me the proof. Aries Spears 45 at Hotmail. Send me whatever proof you have, links you have, articles you have. I want proof that black people's children are doing this.
Let's go hang out in Atlanta for a couple weeks and see what's going on.
Atlanta is, I don't know about that with the kids, but I know Atlanta is, that's the petri dish of how you do it.
No, you know what it is because black Atlanta gets to be whatever it wants to be because it is dominantly black. And when you can be whatever you want to be in a black society in your own blackness, you can do whatever you want.
I just think that black people go so far with certain. Being gay is one thing. Kids identifying as animals and plants, I just don't think that's rooted in our community.
I haven't heard any plants. You have plants?
Whatever. I don't think that's rooted within our community. If I'm wrong, I welcome.
I remember
prove
when you
it to
said.
me.
I remember we sat here and you said black people weren't shooting up things, and black people then went and shot up things. So don't say it because it happens. When you're saying we don't have black guys going out and shooting people, and then the black dude went into the doctor's office and shot a bunch of people. The next same next week. I'm gonna
say what I always say: white tigers exist.
No,
they exist. Nothing is 100% one way, but the mass majority, not us.
I'm going to tell you this to be honest, and I'm going to ask the same people that Aries just asked. As a community grows, where it is allowed to be its authentic self with no judgment, like Atlanta, where it's authentically black and it doesn't have judgment, it has the freedom to be all the things that white communities have always had the ability to be.
As far as to say you might not be wrong, but I highly doubt you're right. That's why I'm leaving it to the people,
okay.
to the intellectuals out there, to the people that love to do research, to the people who want to prove me right or prove Andy right and me wrong. Please, Aries Spears 45 at Hotmail, send me whatever you have that shows me that black people in our community, our kids are doing that. I'll give you the transgender thing. I'll give you the gay thing. But as far as going that far, I just don't think that's what we do.
Okay.
All right. Jody Brown. You see, that was a very diplomatic.
It's because your
mature
voice is
approach.
bothering you. If your voice wasn't bothering you, probably
No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't because I'm trying to be
open.
enough to go, Aries, you could be wrong. But my black spider sense rarely fails me.
No.
Rarely fails me.
Okay.
When it comes to stuff within our community, rarely fails me. And I know you're the guy that likes to go, it's everybody. I'm not even saying you're wrong on that. I'm just saying white tigers don't outnumber Tony the Tiger.
No, it doesn't outnumber.
Right.
But there isn't. Hopefully, there isn't that many white kids doing this either. But
I believe there's more white than black prone too.
Okay, there's more white kids than there are black kids.
See, here we go down this path.
Yeah, but we have to go down the path. Be honest.
Jody Brown, follow-up reply. What's up, brother?
There's more weird white women than there are weird.
I don't doubt that at all.
For sure.
I don't doubt that at all.
These white, I can just these videos, man, of these women saying, "Oh, my kid." Oh, did you see the one? I'm sorry. I'm sorry to go back. Did you see the one where the white woman goes that she wanted to take her son to the vet? I think it was her son or her daughter, but she wanted to take him to the vet, and the vet wouldn't see him because it's not a people doctor. It's it's an animal doctor. But she understood she's not going to try to press any charges against him because she knows that he's just following the rules. But that someday this has to be opened up because her kid.
And to ride that, all I'm saying is when it come to goofy like that, that's not what we do.
Listen, I'm going to tell you without a doubt before we move on to let people bring in their stuff. There are more white women. I'm not saying I'm not, and I could say men too, but I haven't seen it online.
Right.
But I've seen enough when they're explaining this. Baffled, like I look at this and I want to know: is this person like? I can't believe this is real, and I know it's real. So yes, I will agree that there's way more white, and I'm sticking with women on this. There's more white women in this mode than anything else. There's this freedom of expression, and the child needs its own choice. And who are we to make the choice for him? Right. You know who you are to make the choice for him? Right. The parent. Right. Remember when parents made choices for their children? All right. I'm sorry.
I saw where a little black boy opened up one of the cupboards in the kitchen, and there was cereal in the cupboard underneath the sink. And first, every black person was like, first of all, what he did was he went in the cupboard. It was not locked. He opened the bag of cereal, and he just basically poured the entire bag of cereal all over the floor. And, of course, most of the comments from black people were, first of all, why is the cereal down there? Most things that you don't want kids to have access to are locked and up where they can't reach.
Yeah, and why would you have it underneath the sink where usually chemicals and
exactly.
shit like that?
So that was one thing. But so many of the black people was like, oh, whoop his ass. And of course, the majority of the white people, oh, he's just being a kid. That's what kids do. You can't punish a kid for being a kid. Now, granted, when I say white tigers, of course there was some black people that agreed with that. But when you read the comments, if it were a scale, for every one black person that said, oh, to the white people's, oh, black people went, whoop that ass so he learns a lesson. And that's why I'm saying within our culture and our community, you get ass whoopings for doing shit you ain't supposed to do. Whereas white people look at it as he's a kid. That's what kids do. Let a kid be a kid. You can't punish a kid for being a kid.
Two things to this. The more freedom, the more comfortable, the more you get to be your authentic self, the more this comes out. The other thing, you can't, what do you say, beat a kid for being a kid or discipline a kid for being a kid? Yeah. That. Here's the truth. And I want to say this so harsh that everybody hears this. You're not raising children. You're raising people to be adults. You beat them because
at 6.
The reason they get in trouble is so that they understand that that's not the right thing to do. And we raise them. You make sure that they learn lessons. And first time they do it, you might say, hey, this isn't how we act. This is food. There's people that are starving. We don't waste this food. We don't pour this on the floor. This is our food. It goes in our bowl. We eat this. We put it in our bodies. We don't do it this way. And then the next time, it escalates, and it escalates because each time you have to teach this kid how to become an adult. And that's what's wrong with our society, is that no one wants to train anybody right now to be an adult. Don't let kids Kids just get to be kids. No, you're raising them to be something else. And every day they get a little bit older. So every day they should be a little bit less kid and a little bit more of a young person. We're raising people.
I saw where this kid he's got a bag of Doritos, and his mother is telling him he can't have the Doritos. And the kid is just standing there looking at her defiantly, not saying nothing, just holding the bag. So she goes about 3 or 4 times, "No, you cannot have those Doritos." I said, "No." So his final act of defiance was not to just say "F you" and eat the Doritos. He just looked at her and he just poured the whole bag upside down all over the carpet and walked away. I saw that and wanted to whip his ass. But again, the comments were, he's a kid. You should not be hitting a kid for doing something like that.
No.
And I go, my mother would have whooped my ass for 2 reasons. One, because the look of defiance. He knew what he was doing when he did it. So for me to have the cojones to look my mother in the face and basically go, "F you," by tipping the bag upside down and pouring them all over the floor, the defiance would have been 1, the act would have been 2.
You don't have to beat that kid. I would take everything out of that kid's room. I would throw a blanket on the floor and maybe a pillow. And say, yeah, if you can't respect me and the things that you get from this home and listen to me, there's your room. I have to raise you. You live here. You're my kid. But I didn't have to give you a bed. There's no rules that you have to have a bed. There's no rules that you have to have anything in your room, a TV, toys, anything. I would take all that shit out. I go, you earned that shit now. I gave it to you because you're my kid and I love you and I want you to have these things. But now I have to take them away because you don't respect any of these things. Now you have to earn them. I'm telling you, you can either tell your kid, discipline him, or change him so that they do the right things, respectful things as they get older in life, or someone else is going to teach them later, and you're not going to like the results of what someone else is teaching them. Kids need to learn. I'm tired of these kids. I'm tired of these kids. I'm sorry. These kids are up, and they're up because their parents wanted them to have a better life, a nicer life, to be so free. Freedom there's a value to freedom, but it isn't to do everything you want to do. There's the value of freedom is to know where you need to stop. You can't. Freedom isn't just like you're not free. You know what? You can't identify as a bird and be free and jump off of a mountain and think that you're going to land. God doesn't allow you to have that kind of freedom. Freedom is knowing where to stop.
Right.
It's not about getting to do everything you want to do. I am so heated about this right now in my head because I have good kids. And I apologize to my kids about some of the things that I didn't do the way that I should have as I was raising them because I made mistakes. But you know what? As a parent, making mistakes is part of it. We don't know how to do this job. They didn't come with instructions, but we do know what we need to do to make them young, productive people. And we don't want to do that because we don't want to break their tender souls. No, let someone else break their tender soul. You need to ease them into life is hard.
Spoken by James Andy Evans.
Tired of these kids.
Jody Brown, follow-up reply. What's up, brothers? I wrote y'all for the first time last week, and you read it. I'm glad both y'all like my porn titles. Y'all were wondering if I'm male or female. Yeah, Jody. I was born with an 8-inch long, half of an inch girth. LOL, I am a man. You could have just said you were a dude. I don't know why you had to go into detail about your girthy long.
But he was born with that. This means that you didn't get the proper attention. Everybody's like staring at your.
Jesus, dude. It was hilarious that you referenced Baby Boy. I was in high school. I was in high school when that movie came out, and everyone used to reference that movie for years. I haven't heard it in a while, so when you did it, it brought back a few memories. Thanks. Also, you gave me a $10 a lot of money last go round. I was high as when I wrote it, so I'll take it with a smile on my face. Ooh.
You are falling apart.
Dude, hopefully this email wasn't too long. I'm sober this time, so hopefully I made it easier for you to read. Love you guys. Peace. Yeah, it was great. Thank you for answering that, Jowdy. Elijah Pippin.
Would it be disappointing for him if he still had an 8-inch, but it was only a half an inch wide?
I don't even want to know what that looks like. I'm not doing the math, the visual math on that. Abort, nigga. Abort. Elijah Pippin, Andy, you bugging part 2. Hi, Aries and Andy. Hope all is well. I want to address something that Andy said about women wanting a soft man. Absolutely not. When shit hits the fan, a woman wants a masculine male to come and take charge. Plumber with his pants hanging under his captain's quarters and all. Women don't want to be with another man when it comes to get something done. I like that. You even spoke like a man. Get something done. And you being a soft male signals to a woman, you're too pretty to go and get the job done. Soft is for women and women only. Anyway, if you read this, appreciate you for reading, and peace and blessings. I'm trying to remember.
It wasn't exactly how she took it, but I was saying.
Elijah Pippin.
No, is it dude? Or?
Elijah Pippin.
Okay. It was what I was saying is that we have, as you're looking at the masculinity of men, seems to have been dumbed down because we want to be something for women, that they want pretty guys. I'm not saying, but when something is up,
when you say women, they want pretty guys. Not all women want.
No, not all women, but the culture has seemed to. Guys do what women want. Is that not? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that's why we do it.
So, and what have guys tried to become? More attractive, dress better, because that's what they have determined that women are attracted to that. That doesn't mean that that's their sole attraction. I said that until something important happens, then women change their mind. When they need a man. I think deep down inside, women want a man. They're just attracted to all the pretty that culturally we've kind of have switched to. Skinny jeans is not a manly thing. I'm sorry.
No, I agree.
And what do? We switch to it. It's a style. It's this look. I think it has a lot to do with how women perceive us. We want to be that. We want women to like us. That's why we do it. There's nothing that straight men only do things for women's approval.
Listen.
Or money.
I don't think any woman is mad at a dude who's well-groomed, what's that word? Metrosexual?
Yeah.
Well-groomed and kind of really takes care of himself and all that. I don't think any woman is mad at that. But what I love is that most of the women that I've talked to and had dealings with, they like a rugged, and I don't necessarily mean rugged in the sense of like bad boyish, not necessarily. My words here, but I don't want to not criminal bad boy, drug dealer bad boy, hood bad boy, but a dude that's got some ruggedness to him. It was not a pretty. And I've heard women say, yeah, the pretty dudes look good and it's attractive to look to, but I almost prefer with a belly. A lot of women don't mind a belly. You don't have to be six-pack and ripped. Just be a man. Stay like swagger.
Yeah.
And this is why, again, I go, listen, on the show and in real life, James Gandolfini turned women on. That character, Tony, the boss, the power, the swagger, the cigar, the tough guy, that's sexy to a lot of women. And James Gandolfini may not have been Tony Soprano in terms of the narcissist and the killer, but he was an Italian dude with swagger. He was a big, burly. He was a handsome looking dude. He just was a big, burly. And a lot of women like that. A lot of women like that.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying this is what the culture has said and spoken, that this is. Why do guys have better eyebrows than women do these days?
Now, see, that to me is where you know what I mean? That to me is like, come on, there's no need for that.
It's too much?
Yeah. Manicures, pedicures, I'm with that. I get that. But I ain't, I'm not doing my eyebrows, nigga. If I were white, I'm not getting highlights. Dude, what's so funny to me? And I think this is where sometimes guys, I don't know if it's a jealousy thing, I don't know what it is, but I'll have dudes say to me on Instagram, man, you may have said this or this about this chick. Who are you to, you ain't no. And I love when dudes try to think that they're saying something that's going to hurt my feelings in regards to, you get, again, in my 20s and in my 30s, before I gained the stomach and before life kind of me up a little bit, I'm telling you, I was a gorgeous, and I was a gorgeous. Andy. If you think I'm lying, YouTube Mad TV season 4, and look at the opening credits. When I had the Eddie Murphy Metro twist, and it's in black and white. Andy, I was gorgeous. Now, granted, I'm not as gorgeous as I used to be, but what hasn't changed, I've always had swagger. I've always been confident. I've always been funny. I've always had game. My verbal mouthpiece, you've hung around me. When I go play tongue tennis with do it look like I don't know how to serve them back? I'm quick. I'm witty. And it's like, dudes that say that, it's like, you are hilarious. I get a lot of, even with the gut, even with the dark circles under my eyes, because I got swagger. And a lot of women don't give a how a man look if he got game. That's why Biggie got one eye facing out and the other one facing east. That swagger, B. Women love Biggie. And I know I'm better looking than that deceased. So I'm just saying, like, you know how many pretty, yes, they look good. They got the six pack. They got the abs. They got the V in the front. The personality of a dead baby. Women, you don't have to be a pretty model if you got game. If you know how to talk to a that get wet. You tickle the ear to get wet.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying.
I'm just saying it's funny how guys think a man has to look a certain way to be. Please.
But you forget when you say these dumb guy has no personality. A lot of these beautiful women have no personality.
Oh, that's
so
the
those
event.
two are.
Thank God.
Those two are match made in heaven.
But you never see them together.
You do.
Really?
Yeah. I raised myself in Scottsdale, and it's you see a lot.
I need to go to Scottsdale. Finger Tupo. My name is pronounced Fenga. Finger. Yeah, Finger. Like what a Detroit says. Hey, man, nigga, what's wrong with your that fingers? I'm a long-time listener, and this is my first time writing in from Melbourne, Australia. Steve, do what you do, mate. That was good. That was right.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And your voice is not good. Seeing you still pull through.
Mike.
You dug deep.
I dug deep, nigga. Not sure this will get read on the pod, but I'll try my luck. Good night. Love your work, A&A. Got that Aries soundbite playing on repeat whenever I do something at work. I'm a goddamn genius. Andy doesn't give himself enough credit sometimes, and it's great to see how he's evolved over the years and finally putting his comedic nuts on the table, like Aries said 2 episodes ago. I'm up to the Thanks Beth episode. Andy is truly the yin to your yang. Aries, with the way he plays devil's advocate in some of your discussions, it helps us listeners get a holistic perspective. Would love to see you guys live one day. Hopefully you can do something in Melbourne, Australia during March, April when we have our annual comedy festival. Food for thought. Keep bringing the heat with the pod. Much mad respect.
Yeah, that's that. I agree with that.
Let me tell you something, and I know this is your speed, Andy. Hold on.
I want to go. I want to go to Australia.
Now, to all you that want to think that Aries ain't that, this is the chick who was hitting me up on Instagram from Australia. I know this is your speed.
Yeah, everything about that's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So come on, man. Like, don't you don't know who I am, man. I'm a beast, nigga. I'm trying to tell you. All right. What's wrong?
I just think it's funny.
What, my level of confidence?
No, but you had a show. You were like, look.
Yeah, I want you to think that I'm not lying.
No, I didn't think you were lying.
All right.
I like the confirmation though.
Andy be with me on the road, man. He see how I talk to some of these chicks when they come talking to me. My mouthpiece is serious, man. Roman Sneed, episode 566. What up, Aries and Andy? It's been a minute since I've emailed, but I'm still listening to the pod. Speaking of which, in episode 566, you talked about your nut slap. Oh, this was funny because I thought about this after we had the conversation, and I went, huh? Yeah. You talked about your nuts slapping the while you're hitting it. No Diddy. I just want to know what position you're in where your nuts would slap the LMAO. Both of y'all feel free to answer because Andy also agreed with you and it was referenced a couple times. It's all love. That shit made me laugh though. Yeah, because when your is in the your nuts are under you.
Yeah.
Her is above the. So how could you slap the unless you're flipped upside down and she's on her back in missionary and you're on your stomach in her? There's no way you could slap the.
She's reverse cowboy, and you're underneath, and you're from behind, and it still wouldn't flip
No,
up.
it wouldn't.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was a good idea, though.
Yeah, but that puzzle does not fit at all unless, like I said, she's on her back missionary and you're a missionary, except you're on your stomach.
Yeah, could work.
Could it? No, because then your nuts are basically, no, that wouldn't work either. Oh, wait, would it? Yes, it would work that way.
You're putting a lot of effort into this.
Yes, but I don't know how your stroke would be. That would be a weird stroke. You know what I'm saying? Listen, no position that anybody could ever think of has not been tried. So I'm sure there's some Kama Sutra physical acrobatic people that could pull that off.
What if you just grabbed your and just started smacking with it?
Like with your,
Just
so you got your in your hand, which
you dig, you're standing up and you grab your.
and you do that.
Yeah,
There's no way that could feel good to a woman.
no, it's no way it could feel good to you.
Okay. Oh man, sometimes the rabbit hole you take me in.
I always see those. Have you ever seen those videos where the girls like sucking the dudes, and then she puts the in her mouth too?
Yeah.
I just don't think that.
That's a novelty. That can't feel good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Does it? Could it feel like?
I've had a girl gnaw on my and pull it. I don't like that. Doing something to my means nothing to me.
Oh, I like when I play with, but I don't think that I would like it all in the same sandwich there.
I wonder sometimes when we talk about what we talk about, do women just tune us out?
Oh no.
Ryan Nitty, Diddy games. Sup, fellas? I have a Diddy game. You have to pick between can't stop, won't stop encounter with the diddler himself or willingly Caitlyn Jenner. I would love to hear your answers, laughing my ass off. May peace and love and bankrolls be upon you. So either Diddy or Caitlyn Jenner.
I'm going with none.
You can't do that.
Yeah, you can.
You can't.
Retire you at that point.
No. You are escaping the Saw moment that this is. You can't escape it. You have to. You know what I mean? You have to.
Does Caitlyn talk?
I don't think that matters.
Have I heard
that
that
face?
That voice though.
Ooh.
But it's a woman though.
No, it's not.
It's more of a woman than Diddy.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we're gonna get back to you on this, dog. Take that.
What if Caitlyn says that while she's?
Do we know? Did she lop it off?
I don't know.
I think he's still got the
equipment.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that if you take that off, your sexual pleasure goes way down because you can't. Same way. It's you lose the ability to get off.
I heard that if you got what do they call that thing? Snipped? What do they call it though? When you get snipped, right?
What do you mean?
Like you can
vasectomy?
Vasectomy.
Yeah.
You still can comes out.
No, you. I have vasectomy. You just don't get it. You don't get it, the don't come out.
Doesn't come out?
No, that's what's.
Well, then how do you?
is in a is the juice that the come out of are in the juice, and you're firing that in there, but there's no in it, but you're still.
So the male mayonnaise, the substance comes out, but there's nothing that could get her pregnant.
Right.
So you still feel the sensation of all
Yeah.
that? Really?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
After my second kid, and I didn't want any more kids.
Wow. The procedure, they put you under?
No, they don't put you under.
Did it hurt?
No, they numb you up. The shot hurt.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did they shoot you with the needle?
In the nuts.
Oh, my God.
The worst part about it is if they cauterize it. They cut it and then they cauterize the tip so that it won't, because it can grow back together if it's not done that way. And I wanted to say it to you because I knew your face would just like, that's a real Saul moment for you. But the good thing is, like, I didn't have to worry about having kids after that. That was, when I got separated and divorced, I didn't ever have to worry about someone coming to me and going, well, you got me pregnant. I would love for if someone had said that.
Wow. Can you reverse it if you ever want to?
You can reverse it, but anything after 5 years, I guess it's tougher for it to happen. It just kind of, your body just kind of deals with it and it just goes away.
Has it been 5 years for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been 20.
Damn, so you just none but blanks.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been 22, I think 22 years.
Wow.
Yeah. It doesn't change. Seriously, nothing changes. Some dudes get really weird about it. Like, they think it changes you. I don't think it changed me at all. It made me more relaxed, I'll tell you that.
So you got like a vegan mayonnaise now.
Yeah. Yeah. But all the stuff, there's no way you could I wonder if it's somebody. I wonder if you ever in a chick's mouth and she's like, it's missing something.
I'm telling you, vegan mayonnaise.
This tastes like it's missing. It's like it seems right, but it's missing something.
I bet you.
Some very like connoisseurs of
yeah, some real
connoisseurs.
Tasters. They would know, like wine.
Wait a minute, there's something missing here.
If we have any tasters out there, please
let us know.
Don't be afraid to come forward. You could be anonymous. You don't have to give your name. Just say taster number one. Jose Gardia, last one. Patrice. What's good, Aries? So Google Podcasts went away, and I had to migrate my podcast to the YouTube platform. Every time I listen to your two podcasts for the week, I get Patrice O'Neal automatically coming up with Opie and Anthony. Don't get me wrong, it's hilarious, but I have noticed the more and more I listen to it, the more I think Patrice laughs sounds like a fat black lady laughing. That's fair. I don't know if you know what I mean. He has this really long laugh like a fat black mammy. Ha, ha, ha. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I can't help but hear it. Yeah, absolutely. He was known for that laugh. And a lot of comics used to say, if you could get that laugh out of Patrice, you felt like $1 million because he don't really laugh unless he thinks it's funny. Yeah.
That's it?
I think that's it.
Well, let me give some dates, man. Pull this up real quick. Sorry, guys. Dun, dun, dun.
I wish we would have done the Wednesday podcast first. That way we could talk about Boston. We would have been able to talk about Boston a little bit.
Well, we can still talk about it.
I mean, we can't because we haven't had the experience yet.
Yeah, that's why we saved it, so we can have that experience and then talk about it. But we are excited about coming to Boston. Actually, you're listening to this. As we said, we are in, we're already going to be, we won't even be there because that's, yeah. We would have had to talk about that last week, so we're going to talk about it from the point of view of being done. You're going to hear it after we're there. We're there May 11th. It's too late. You missed it if you didn't show up. We're already gone. May 24th to the 26th, we're going to be at the Funny Bone in Richmond, Virginia. May 30th through June 2nd, we're at Off the Hook Comedy Club in Naples, Florida.
Nipples in Naples.
If you guys have never been there, it's really good seafood, too, because you can actually have a great dinner and see some great comedy, at least when Aries is on stage. June 13th through the 16th, we'll be at the Cap City in Austin, Texas, going out a day early. I already booked my ticket for it. I'm getting there on the 12th. June 22nd, we're going to be, Aries is at Albany Municipal Auditorium in Albany, Georgia. I will, like I said, be getting married that day. I will, my life won't change at all, I don't think, but we'll see. June 27th through the 30th, will be at Helium in St. Louis, Missouri. We haven't been there in a while. I'm excited to go back. July 5th through the 6th, we'll be at the Funny Bone in Omaha. July 18th through the 20th, we'll be at Cobb's in San Francisco. August 8th through the 10th, we'll be at the Mic Drop in San Diego. Back to seeing Casing. Glad to be back. September 13th through the 14th, we're at Hartford Funny Bone in Manchester, Connecticut. I missed a date because it was a new one. Which date was just added? I didn't put that into the list yet. Do you remember what date was added? No. There was a date added. Here, let me try it. Find it real quick. I think that came from. Yeah, I know that came from William. Particularly confirm Aries. Pittsburgh was added. June Pittsburgh.
Is that what was added?
Yeah, June 7th through the 9th. I wanted to get that in because it was just added this week. I forgot to say it. June 7th through the 9th, we're going to be at the Homestead, but it's actually Pittsburgh. So that covers us. That covers us. We got it in. Important to get that one in because it's coming up. And so there we are.
Anything else?
No, I'm excited to go back home.
What do you want to call this one?
Raise your kids. Beat those. No. I don't know. What do you got?
Can't say.
No.
Damn.
Something's missing here.
Yeah, something that I almost want to steal what Patrice called Nick DiPaolo. He goes, Nick, you can't ever be as successful as you want to be because you say goo gobblers.
This goo is missing something. How's that?
This what?
This goo is missing something.
This goo is missing something. Okay.
There, we get Patrice a little bit in, we get Nick DiPaolo in, and we get to say it without getting demonetized.
Maybe. You never know with that.
There we go. Guys, that's an episode.
Bye-bye.
Spears and Steinberg.
Thanks for listening to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. If you'd like to know who's responsible for this, it was hosted by Ari Spears and Andy Steinberg, produced by Steve Merrick and Anthony Holmes, executive producer, Big Papa, Robert Kelly, and Matt Kleinschmidt for the Laugh Button Podcast. For more information on where to find us on the internet, visit SpearsburgPod.com.